two forwards. LaRue was a defenseman.
Members of the 1980s chapter of the Penguins alumni, please welcome back rugged forwards Warren Young and Gary Risley. And head coach Bob Berry.
And Bob Berry, who coached the Penguins in the mid-'80s and directed Mario Lemieux, and Gary Risley, probably as much a character as anybody in the game.
NHL. He was the leading scorer for Team USA in the 1980 Miracle on Ice. Scored 2 goals against the Soviets and made his NHL debut with the Penguins only a week after winning the gold medal.
Years later, his father coached the Pens to their first Stanley Cup. Representing a big piece of Penguin history and the legacy of Badger Bob, here is Mark Johnson.
And Mark Johnson can remember when he came from the Olympic team in 1980. It was fashion in those days to shave a player's head when he joined the team as a rookie. They did. He had an event, he put a big cowboy hat on and laughed all the way through it.
Here are 4 members in good standing: Frank Pietrangelo, Ken Reagan, Wendell Young, and Gilles Meloche.
It's a goaltenders union. Frankie Pietrangelo, the save. You remember that. Wendell Young, Stanley Cup winner. Kenny Reagan also. And Gilles Meloche, now the Penguins goaltending coach.
2 former teammates who put up big numbers for the Penguins. Welcome them back to Pittsburgh, John Cullen and Robbie Brown. And Brownie, can we see that windmill one more time?
And Brownie accommodates the fans. Don't let Ronnie Hextall see you, Brownie. He's not in the building.
Soul players who all came here in the 1980s and helped build the foundation of the franchise. Please say hello to Troy Loney and Dave Hannon.
And Dave Hannon and Loney, Troy Loney, both still live in Pittsburgh.
Who were Stanley Cup champions as Penguins. Here are Blue Liners Randy Hillier and Peter Taglianetti.
Stanley Cup champs, Randy Hillier and Peter Taglianetti, and both, again, are part of Western Pennsylvania. They live here.
Stanley Cup champions, and now they both work as Penguins broadcasters. Coming down from the booth, here are Phil Bourque and Bob Airy.
And old Bubba, the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque, and Bibbs, as they call him, Bob Airy.
The next honoree won 6 Stanley Cups as a player. The last 2 as a member of the Penguins. And who will ever forget him sliding across the tarp at Three River Stadium with a cup? Say hello to Hockey Hall of Famer Brian Trottier.
And Brian Trottier, who won 4 cups with the New York Islanders, 2 with the Pens, and now works for the Islanders, but makes his home here.
A few years ago, one of the big questions at Mellon Arena was, what would Gary Roberts do? Let's ask him. Here is Gary Roberts.
And Gary Roberts, brief stay here, but a very, very strong one to say the least. Big impact on the city of Pittsburgh. Gary Roberts.
He built a team that won back-to-back Stanley Cups, oversaw a decade of excellence, made some of the greatest trades in franchise history, and earned his rightful place in the Hockey Hall of Fame. A warm welcome back to Craig Patrick.
And Craig Patrick, who put together the pieces to give the Penguins their first ever Stanley Cup championship, a second one, and they should have had a third, but this Islanders squad beat them in '93 and built a big foundation for a lot of winning teams.
They went into the Hockey Hall of Fame together. Please welcome 2 all-time great defensemen, Paul Coffey and Larry Murphy.
I don't know if you could have had 2 better players in your lineup than Coffey and Murphy when they play together. The left-hander Coffey and the right-hander Murphy.
There aren't enough words to describe what this man has meant to the Penguins and to the city of Pittsburgh. So let's just go with the numbers.
6 NHL scoring titles.
3 MVP trophies.
2 Conn Smythe trophies.
2 Stanley Cups as a player, and already 1 Stanley Cup as an owner.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mario Lemieux.
And wearing that familiar jersey, 66. He strides down the red carpet onto the ice, and Mario Lemieux waving to the fans. A sellout throng here tonight at the Mellon Arena as he makes his way to the Penguin bench with hand clapping galore with the Penguin players. And he shakes each and every player's hand as he walks by them and approaches the two goaltenders, Brent Johnson and Marc-Andre Fleury. Pretty special moment from a lot of alums who were honored here in the last regular season game at the Mellon Arena. And Lemieux comes to center now with the carpet. And a very moving moment here at the Mellon Arena. Now the players will turn from one side to the other, acknowledging the fans and the crowd. Beginning to chant here. The players from the bench will move to center ice. They'll join the alums. There'll be a picture-taking ceremony here as they all gather. And you better have a pretty wide-angle lens right now, boys, to take this picture. But it is, the lights are dim, and they've got the lights shining right to center ice. Players leaning down, and it's picture time. It's not quite the Stanley Cup, but I'll tell you, there's a big moment here that you can just feel it run right through the Mellon Arena. And right in the middle of it all, the Pens captain Mario Lemieux, and to his right, Sidney Crosby and Dan Bilesman. Some pretty good accomplishments there.
Fans, this concludes.